Welcome to this Sparkz Explainer. Today, we're decoding the absolute ultimate blueprint for building aesthetic 3D shoulders using just 3 at-home movements. Look, if you've been putting in the reps but still aren't seeing that superhero frame you want in the mirror, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's jump right into it.
Okay, let's talk about what we call flat, floppy pancakes. You know, your shoulders support almost every single upper body movement you do, every push-up, every dip. But here's the thing. Just being involved doesn't mean they're actually being trained. Without targeted work, they're just acting as a support crew. Our goal today? We're going to transform them into round 3D coconuts. We want that aesthetic superhero frame that makes your physique look incredibly strong, literally from every single angle.
To make that happen, we're following a super clear blueprint today. 1. Fixing flat pancakes. 2. The Pike Push-up foundation. 3. Unlocking V-taper width. 4. The 3D rear delt closer. And finally, number 5, the secret sauce for growth.
Starting right off with Section 1, fixing those flat, floppy pancakes by looking at the anatomy. So, biologically, the shoulder is essentially split into 3 distinct puzzle pieces, right? You've got the front, the side, and the rear delt. Now, standard push-ups and chest presses are awesome, but they really only treat those front delts as a supporting cast. And if you're missing pieces of this anatomical puzzle, you end up with 0 width and absolutely no V-taper. You literally have to train all 3 parts directly if you want to force them to grow.
All right, moving to Section 2, the Pike Push-up foundation, which is all about targeting those front delts.
Now, the Pike Push-up is pretty much the ultimate at-home tool. No expensive gym membership required here. You want to start in a standard push-up position and then just walk your feet toward your hands until your body forms this upside-down V with your hips way up high in the air. As you lower your head toward the floor between your hands, the real secret is keeping your elbows slightly tucked. This makes sure your shoulders, not your chest, take all that heavy load. And hey, once you can cleanly hit 12 reps, it's time to level up. Just elevate your feet on a box or a chair. Because the more vertical your body becomes, the more it mimics a heavy, muscle-building overhead press.
Now, here's our first real cheat code, parallettes. If your wrists ever scream at you during Pike push-ups, it's because they're being bent completely backward under a lot of load. Parallettes keep your wrists nice and neutral, completely removing that joint stress. But the real magic? They let you go way deeper into the movement. And more range of motion means a much deeper stretch, way better muscle recruitment, and ultimately, much faster adaptation. It's a total game changer.
Okay, Section 3, unlocking that V-taper width by really engaging the side delts.
So, the secret to getting that wide look just requires one simple piece of equipment, a resistance band. You just step right on the middle of the band, and here's the absolute key for execution. As you raise your arms out to the sides, make sure to keep them slightly in front of your body. This specific angle guarantees optimal activation. It targets the exact muscle belly that physically widens your upper frame.
But listen, you really need to avoid what we call the tempo trap. Look, if you just grab a heavy band and blindly swing it up, momentum is doing all the heavy lifting. That totally ruins your form and makes the exercise basically useless. What you really want is continuous tension. So pause for a full, solid second at the top, and then fight the resistance by taking 2 to 3 deliberate seconds on the way down. Actually, if the band is so heavy that your form breaks, you're just wasting your time. Keep it strict.
Next up, Section 4, the 3D rear delt closer. This is absolutely crucial for joint health and your posture.
To hit this super neglected muscle, we're using ring face pulls. Just set your rings, or a bar if you have one, right at face height. Lean back, keeping your body straight, and pull those handles directly toward your face. Now, the real secret sauce here is keeping your elbows higher than your wrists and actually letting your upper back round just a tiny bit at the top of the movement. This perfectly isolates those rear delts so it doesn't just turn into a basic back row. Make sure to pause and really squeeze at the top to maximize that activation.
And hey, this isn't just about looking good in a t-shirt either. This specific movement trains your internal rotator cuff. These are the tiny stabilizing muscles you can't even see in the mirror, but they are exactly what keep your shoulder joints stable and totally pain-free during those heavy compound lifts. Trust me, if you ignore them, your posture collapses and eventually things are going to start to hurt.
All right, Section 5, the secret sauce for growth. We're talking protein and the growth zone. So, fueling your recovery gives you a massive advantage when you're trying to get lean. Get this, digesting protein gives you a completely free metabolism boost.
Seriously, your body burns up to 30% of protein's calories literally just by digesting it. This is the thermic effect of food working directly in your favor. How cool is that?
To actually activate this engine and build that muscle, you've got to be hitting 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight every single day. Doing this secures your recovery, it fights off the cravings, and it quietly burns more calories so you can shed that fat and finally reveal the muscle underneath.
But how does this translate to your actual workout? Well, let's talk about why comfortable volume is really just a commute. Doing 5 sets that don't challenge you just makes you tired, right? Your body isn't actually stimulated, which means zero adaptation. You have to push past that boring commute and enter the growth zone. I'm talking about those final 2 to 3 grinding reps, where your tempo involuntarily slows down, your muscles are screaming, and your body is literally forced to adapt. Remember, intensity is the only language your muscles actually understand.
So, let's quickly summarize our Sparkz superhero blueprint. Master these 3 targeted movements to hit every single angle of the shoulder. Pike push-ups for the front, band lateral raises with a strictly controlled tempo for width, and ring face pulls for those rear delts and overall joint health. Lock in that 1.6 to 2 grams of protein for your thermic boost, and always push your intensity past the comfortable commute and right into the growth zone.
So, I'll leave you with this final question to think about. Are you ready to finally step out of the commute, enter the growth zone, and unlock those 3D coconut shoulders? Take these tools, apply them to your very next home session, and just watch your physique transform. Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me. Now go get to work.